What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Mickey Walker and Jack Britton would decide to get it on November 1st, 1922 in New York's Madison Square Garden for the World Welterweight Championship. Jack Britton, the champion. Mickey Walker, the challenger. Would be a night of boxing that the Madison Square Garden fans would never forget. Let's take a look at these fighters and examine this outstanding fight right here on the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. What a fight. What a night. So Mickey Walker, better known as the Toy Bulldog, was born July 13th, 1901 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. He died April 28th, 1981 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Now Mickey Walker would have total bouts of 163 fights, 131 wins, 60 knockouts. Would have 25 losses, 5 draws, and 2 no contests. Now, one who is not familiar with boxing would take a look at 25 losses and not understand that the era that Mickey Walker would fight in would be loads of fighters, talented Hall of Famers. And we will examine those opponents as we go on. Now, Mickey Walker began his professional debut February 10th, 1919. And he would face a fighter by the name of Dominic Arzum. And a 4-round decision would go to Mickey Walker. But unfortunately for Mickey Walker, he would learn his valuable lesson that it takes more to be a strong young man. You've got to know how to use your hands. Because on April 29th, 1919, he would be starched in the very first round in his hometown against a fighter by the name of Phil DeMont. But in 1920 would be a great year for Mickey Walker. He would have 12 fights, winning 2, with 10 no decisions. All in New Jersey bouts. Walker has 16 bouts in 1921, winning 5. Fights, 1 draw, and 9 losses. But he would keep it up. He would train. He would spar. He would eat right. He would get up in the morning and do his road work. And he would understand, in order for him to become a champion, he would have to fight all comers. And that he will do. Facing Kid Green for the second time around. And consistently giving all fighters hell. He would eventually face Jack Britton in a no-decision bout in New Jersey. But in 1922, Mickey Walker would face the welterweight champion Jack Britton after losing to Jack Malone. But he was quite impressive. And Jack Britton's opponent could not make the fight. So Mickey Walker would be available to fill in his shoes on the biggest stage of his career. Mickey Walker would get a shot at the world welterweight champion, Jack Britton, on November 1st, 1922. And after outpointing the Hall of Fame champion, Mickey Walker would become the world welterweight champion in a 15-round stretch. Now, Mickey Walker and Jack Britton would fight the same year that Nat Flasher would begin to publish the first Ring magazine. February 15th, 1922 was when the magazine was published. And you have Tex Tickard and Lord Lansdale on the cover of the first edition of the Ring magazine. I've had this magazine for over 45 years. And these were some of the fighters around at that time. As you have here, Benny Bass, Joe Dundee, these are all champions. Dominic Patrol. Fantastic Hall of Famers. But this is the actual Ring magazine that was published February 15th, 1922, the very first one. And Mickey Walker and Jack Britton would have it on this year, November 1st, 1922. Now, Jack Britton was born on October 14th, 1885 in Clifton, New York. He died March 27th, 1962. And Jack Britton would have a phenomenal record of total bouts, 344, 239 wins, 30 knockouts, 57 losses, 43 draws, with 5 no contests. He would stand 5 foot 8 inches and have a 70-inch reach. He was a welterweight. Had 22 fights with Ted Kid Lewis, a record till this day. He would face Leo Florian Hook 3 times, Matty Baldwin once, Benny Leonard twice, Mike O'Dowd 3 times. Mike O'Dowd was a phenomenal champion. Very strong out of St. Paul's. He would face Charlie White. Very fast on his feet. And he would have his great wars with Benny Leonard, with Charlie White. Jack Britton would face him. Now let's examine Mickey Walker in a Police Gazette scrapbook. Mickey Walker takes on Jack Britton for the World Welterweight Championship. Mickey Walker captures the welterweight title from veteran Jack Britton in 15 rounds. Elizabeth Ladd, too strong for 37-year-old champion, who was a great in defeat. The New York boxing body calls bets off. Fantastic fighter was Mickey Walker. And at that time, Jack Britton was 37 years of age, had his wars with Ted Kid Lewis. Britton retains crown as he outpoints Ted Kid Lewis. An American champion outboxed the British title holder in 15 rounds, receiving a unanimous decision of the judges. It was their 19th ring encounter. Jack Britton is still the welterweight champion of the world, and he is likely to die with the crown. Ted Kid Lewis and Jack Britton would have over 22 fights. Unbelievable. But Jack Britton would lose his title to the toy bulldog Mickey Walker on November 1st, 1922. Here you have Jack Britton, the welterweight champion of the world, faces the toy bulldog and Mickey Walker. Now, after his retirement, Mickey Walker went and opened up a bar right next to Madison Square Garden. And that was the place to be. Because in that bar, you would have hundreds of pictures of posing fighters. And everyone who was everyone was allowed to participate in that bar. And you would see some of the greatest fighters of all times in that bar. So Mickey Walker was a phenomenon. Although from Jersey, he was well known in New York. Here you have Pete Latzo fighting in 1926. He would be the next fighter for Mickey Walker. And he would offer him a challenge. Here you have Pete Latzo with Joe Dundee. Pete Latzo would take the title away from Mickey Walker. The World Welterweight Championship. Here he's fighting Joe Dundee, Polo Grounds, New York City, June 3rd, 1927. Joe Dundee, the challenger, looks on as the champion Pete Latzo weighs in. At the end of 15 rounds of rugged battling, Joe Dundee dethrones the man who won the title from Mickey Walker. Pete Latzo and Mickey Walker had two great, outstanding fights with one another. Here you have Mickey Walker in 1924, June 2nd, on the scales with Lou Tender. Lou Tender would face Benny Leonard for the World Lightweight Championship. It would be a Hall of Fame event, one of the greatest fights in modern time. Salute to these great fighters, Mickey Walker and Jack Britton, the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Salute to my subscribers.